Hi everybody! Oh my gosh, I am so nervous to be back after so long. Hello! we're back. We're back from vacation. And we're gonna answer all of your questions. Well, I'm gonna answer all of your questions. I guess the first thing to say is where we went. So we went on a kind of family vacation, so there was extended family and stuff too that we met up with. And we went to Tennessee in the Pigeon Forge / Gatlinburg area is where we were staying, like the area that we went in. And then there's also a place called Sevierville, and that's where we were staying at. But pretty much everything that we did was either in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg. And this is a very big touristy area. They have like this huge strip that's basically just activity after activity. It's really cool. But this time, because we have been to the area before, this time we decided to stay in an actual cabin. So it's not like, the inside wasn't like a log cabin, you know, but it was like up in the mountains. We were kind of secluded from everywhere, and yeah, so we did have that like actual outdoorsy mountain kind of experience where we were at, while also having all of the fun touristy stuff to do. So it was really nice. Every single one of us enjoyed ourselves. I think like everyone was out at some point on the trip except for me and Bruno. And I was just like, hey, because we had a bunch of different activities to do, and obviously we can't like just decide who's gonna come out and stuff like that, but we did know that we wanted people, like each of us, to try and experience something. So I wasn't gonna have enough time to be able to do my thing, and so I just said, you know what, it's fine, I'm fine with that, I just want to be able to do our stream when we come back. And so that was my compromise. And then Bruno, because he doesn't talk or anything, it's a little harder for him to be able to be out at all, so he couldn't, unfortunately. But I will go ahead and say like who did what while we're discussing things, and hopefully I'll remember all of that. I do have a list of everywhere that we went, so I should be able to remember. And then obviously we have the picture slideshow that we're going to be showing you guys. And after each location, if I need to tell you a bit more that the pictures didn't show, I do also have up like the websites. I know what websites to go to, and I have like the first location up so that we can look at that. If you can't tell, I'm like just getting back in like the zone of being able to stream and stuff, so I feel a little awkward, but I am going to turn on a nice little BGM for this. I actually thought it was playing already, but it's not. I think it's, oh no, it was playing. It's because I didn't loop it. Okay, hold on, let me do that real quick. Loop. Thank you. I was like, well, it was playing before. It's because I didn't loop it. It can't keep playing if it doesn't know to keep playing. So, okay, now it's on. And then I guess I can just get started, get right into it. So, Bun was as host, obviously, so he was the one that was out during like anything that wasn't a specific activity. That's like where he was. So from where we live, we drove here, and it was an 8-hour drive. So pretty long, but so 8 hours to, and then 8 hours back on the last day. So it was a thing. But for the first trip on our way up, Bun pretty much slept the whole time. We got up pretty early for us. It wasn't that early, like in reality it was probably like just a little bit earlier than like average school time, but was definitely early for someone who's on a summer schedule right now. It was hard to adjust to, so pretty much just slept the whole time up. There were some times where he was awake. I know he like played some games and he ate snacks and stuff like that at some points, but for the most part he was sleeping until like the last hour of the drive, which is where he took this picture. Those are the mountains, obviously, but that is pretty much what it was like driving for the last like hour or so of our trip. So it's very pretty, as you can see. Like it's there's really like nothing else like it. We even live in an area where like we do have some mountains and stuff, but these mountains are so much different, and it's really beautiful. The whole place, like even once we got there and stuff, like those mountains are just like surrounding you, and it's so natural, it's so pretty, it's so nice to be around. It's such a nice change of environment. It feels really natural and welcoming. So this is like the only picture that we got in the car, because why else would we be taking pictures in the car, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to show like what that view was like. And then we got to our cabin, and so this is all gonna be, we're talking about the first day, right? So we got to the cabin around, what time was it? I wanna say like 3 p.m. maybe. And so we get in, and the family dog came with us. So we went to walk in, and this is a pet-friendly cabin. So there have been obviously other animals and stuff in there before, so what they do is they have to disinfect everything and make it not smell like animals and stuff. So they basically do the same cleaning process, I'm assuming, as a vet's clinic. And our dog is so scared of the vets. He thought he was going back to the vets. He was so scared. He took a few steps in. He got like the smell of like, because it smelled the same as the vet's office, and he just stiffened. He would not walk in. We had to coax him with treats and everything. Eventually he did get settled, but it was really funny seeing him, like, he was so scared. I felt so bad, but it was also so funny. We tried to reassure him in every way, and he was not taking it. He was so frightened. It was so sweet. But yeah, so we have the cabin, which was this nice little place. It didn't look like a cabin from the inside. It just looked like a little house kind of place. And then, so there was the bottom floor. When you walked in, you went into the kitchen. And then there was a living room / like dining area down there. And then there was a hallway that you could go down to that had the bathroom and the master bedroom, I think, and then the like laundry area. So let me tell you a little bit about this bathroom. It was so bad. Okay, I personally really liked the cabin. I think like we did in general, but the bathrooms are a little different. Okay, so I'll tell you about the first bathroom. The first bathroom looks really nice. Okay, it's really like pretty. It's just a normal bathroom. However, the shower is a whole other experience. Oh my god. Okay. So, first of all, they have one of those like cloth curtains. I personally hate them. I don't really understand how they work, and they don't get like dirty and moldy from like the water. Like, it's so gross. Like there has to be bacteria on there, right? There has to be a lot of bacteria in that fabric. But so I was already like, what? How do I handle this? It was more not handling it, but it was more that like I've never had one of those before. Like I've never been in a place where they just had a just fabric one. Like normally they have the outside fabric one, and then you have the little like plastic sheet in it, right? This one didn't have that. It was like a different kind, and I was like, Mom, am I allowed to put this in the shower? And she's like, yes, put it in the shower. We don't want to ruin their floors. So I did that. But then when you went for the faucet, it was super touchy. So I had it set, we had it set like almost all the way over, right? And so like it was supposed to be warm, but it wasn't getting warm. It was just like staying lukewarm. And so I thought that, or Bun thought that we had done something wrong. Yeah, it was Bun who took the first shower. And he was like, I don't think the hot water's working. And so my mom came in and she kind of like messed around with it a little bit and it got hot. And so then she turned it back and then like we just put on the water. And then the water was lukewarm again. And I was like, what's going on? Because the water had gotten like really hot, like it had burned her hand when she was testing it. So obviously it should be warm, right? But it wasn't. And so we had to like mess around with it a little more, and then it gets like scorching. So there was like a horrible balance between the water. It was either freezing cold, lukewarm, or you were like roasting. Then there was also the water pressure. I think they had one of those like shower heads that's supposed to conserve water, but it was like a cheaper one. So it had two settings. Okay, the shower head had two settings other than off. One of them was like dispersed, but like no pressure, none at all. It was literally like less than, like it was literally like just rain. You know how like when it's just like raining, it's not like pouring or anything, but it's like raining. That's what it felt like in the shower. But it was only in one little circle, because if you stepped like an inch to your right or left, you wouldn't be under the water anymore. And so then there was the second option, which it only had like, there were like the 4 little holes in like the middle, and it would only do those ones. So you'd get a tiny bit more water pressure, but it would cover even less. So yeah, taking showers there was really interesting. It was not the best, but the rest of the house was really nice. Then you go upstairs, and there's 2 bedrooms up there, and there's a half bath. And I did say bathrooms were kind of awful. This half bath was really small, which, I mean, you can't expect from a half bathroom. Half bathrooms, they only have like a toilet and a sink, you know? So I was expecting it to be small, but the problem is that the roof also slants right over it, so you couldn't stand up and brush your teeth in the sink or anything. You kind of had to like tilt your head to the side. And then when you would go to the bathroom in like the middle of the night or something, when you can't see, we hit our head off of the wall so many times. It was so bad. Oh my god. It's so embarrassing. It was like every time you would think that we would get like smarter and take more of our time, but I guess like the sleepiness just was not having it. So we just, almost every single time we went to the bathroom in the middle of the night, someone hit their head. Oh god. Okay, and then I have our room, and I don't have full pictures of the room or anything, but I do have pictures of something that was really cool in it. So I'll go ahead and switch this over. Look, it's an arcade machine. So I don't really know what's going on with the like characters and stuff on here. Like, this is supposed to be Donkey Kong and Mario. I don't really know what's happening, but it's okay. It's alright, they tried. But it is like an official arcade machine and everything, and it does work. So I'll go ahead and show you this video that we took. I think everything is muted. I'm gonna make sure to mute this site. Yeah. Okay. We also shared this on Twitter. I think Bun shared it. Look, it actually plays games. We were so excited. And it's Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is like the first arcade game we ever played. Our dad is obsessed with Donkey Kong, and so he played it multiple times while we were here. They also had they had a bunch of games. It was like, there were like, I think 60 games on this thing, so it was good entertainment for when we like didn't have other stuff to do. And yes, that's a Bunser sleeve there. We are not on hand or skin showing basis right now, so you just get the Tumblr girl sleeve. And then so we stayed there for a while. We just like relaxed at our cabin for most of the day, and then afterwards we went out to eat, obviously, because we had to eat something. So I think this next picture should show it. Okay, so this in the background, this place is where we ate at, but we had to wait for a really long time. So Joseph was out during this. Joseph was out pretty much any time we met up with extended family. He just handles that stuff better than the rest of us, and he's like good at talking with adults and everything. So he was out for all of these times. But this thing is a what's it called? It's called it's just a portable jail cell, I guess. And they were used in like the late 1800s and stuff, when they didn't have like holding for like if they didn't have someone to transport a criminal somewhere to like the normal jail, they would just be hosted in these like jail cells. And I don't know if these were like inside of like certain buildings or what, but it looks like they were just like out in public, which would be so humiliating. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. This is part of an advertising thing for Alcatraz East, which is a crime museum, and we did end up going to this place. So we have more pictures about Alcatraz East, but this was just like a little advertisement thing that was where we were like sitting outside with everybody. And then so we have this, and so you'll notice like the big like blurred out stuff. We like edited pictures so that like nobody would be in them. Well, none of our people would be in them. I know like some of them have like people like in the background, but those aren't any of us. Don't worry. I made sure not to dox us or anything. But as you can see up here, it's the Margaritaville Vacation Club, and that is where we ate. So I wouldn't say the experience was the best experience. Every time that we've eaten at a Margaritaville, it has been like good food. They definitely have good food there. We get the fish and chips whenever we go there, and like the drinks and stuff are just like normal average drinks. They do have a lot of like alcohol for people who are of age, but this Margaritaville in particular was very, very busy. And so, like I said, we did have to wait outside. We waited for like an hour at least with like our whole party and everything. I know some people like literally went off and like did other things while we were waiting for a table. And then, which it honestly wasn't the end of the world. They had like music going on. It was a very like nice area to be in, so it wasn't bad. But then when we get in, so there's two places in this like Margaritaville area that you're able to eat at. One is this Margaritaville Vacation Club restaurant place, which is where we went. And the other one is like a bar place, and it has like outdoor seating and stuff like that. Originally we called the bar place, because it was supposed to be like a quicker wait and everything. And we were like, hey, can you like get in? I think it was like a party of like 12 or 13, something like that. And we were like, hey, could you like get us all in and like seated together at some point? And they were like, I don't think so. We're really busy right now and you wouldn't be able to sit together. So we were like, okay. So then we called this vacation club place and they said they could get us in, which was great. We were like, okay, well, we'll all get to sit together. We'll have to get to enjoy a nice meal, get to like catch up, because these are extended family members. We don't see each other very much. So that's like really what we were banking on, was for this place to be able to sit us together so we could at least have a conversation and stuff. We go in when we're called for our table, and the waitress leads us outside. She was very nice. I have nothing against like the staff or anything here. It was just like the management was really bad. So they take us through the normal restaurant, and I know we did request to be inside, but they couldn't see us inside, so they took us outside, and then they had us, like, separate into different groups and go to different tables, which obviously was not what we were expecting. So this night just ended up being basically eating with the family that we came with and not with the extended family like we were supposed to. Which honestly, we didn't mind it too much just because we're not super close with anybody. And we did get to like talk for an hour beforehand, you know. So it wasn't that bad, but I also wish they would have said something, you know, like they could have been like, hey, you're not gonna be able to sit together like the other place did, and we could have found a much easier place to eat at, but it's whatever. That was what we did for that night, and then we went back to the cabin, and we just chilled there until it was time to go to bed, and that's the whole first day. That's everything that we did the first day. Our other days are much more exciting than that, and we have a lot more pictures. So we woke up the next day, and we were going to go to the, where were we going? Hold on. I told you. Okay. So it's not these pictures yet. Okay. So we went to this place called the Castle of Chaos, and I don't have pictures for this because we did take pictures in here, but I didn't get all the pictures yet, which is really upsetting. I know, like, we held off on doing the stream so that I could get, like, all the pictures and then stuff. Still don't have all of them. Not all of them sent through. So I only have some of the pictures, unfortunately. And then, so it says Hollywood Wax Museum, which is not where we went, but it's like, this whole area, there's like the Castle of Chaos and the Hollywood Wax Museum, and they're like, connected. So, we got tickets to go to all 4 events, but we didn't end up having enough time for the Wax Museum, and we didn't, like, want to go back for the Wax Museum either. So, this day was terror and blaz for the most part. The first thing that we did was this thing. And so this is a virtual reality ride where, well, I guess it's not considered virtual reality. What's it called? 5D. It's called a 5D ride. And so you get in here with 3D glasses, obviously, and then you get in these seats, and the seats, like, move and turn and everything, but you're not on, like, a track. So it's not like a roller coaster, but you're still, like, experiencing a ride, basically. It's more than like a 3D seating thing, but less than a ride, if that makes sense. And then you get these little guns, and you have to shoot at stuff on screen. So let me see if they have an example of the one that we did. Yeah, 2 shows. Okay, I guess they don't really have pictures, but we did do this clown one. We did this clown one there, and there was, like, it was basically, like, a bunch of clowns were coming at you, and you had to, like, kill the clowns and stuff, and you went all, like, through this carnival place, so it was really big. It was, like, a very, like, it wasn't, like, just, like, a small little ride or anything like that. Like, it felt like you were, like, going places, you know? Like, you fell through stories and stuff like that. So, this was Terror. Terror was the one that did this, and he loved it. And then, afterwards, we went and we did the Mirror Maze. I can't say that I fully recommend this one unless you have, like, little kids. Terror did enjoy, like, being in it, but it's just really short. It's a very, like, for the money that you're paying to get into it, I would say probably skip out on it unless you have, like, little ones that are a really big fan of it. The story is basically you're trying to, like, save a princess from the mirrors that she's been, like, encapsulated in or whatever. And so there were a lot of great photo ops in there. It was really pretty. Like, they had one of those, like, what do they call them? Like the things where they have like the lights that go in like a circle around a bridge and it feels like you're like going upside down. They had one of those in there. Tara was really excited about these stairs that they had, where when you would step on them, it was like a piano, so it was like piano stairs, and they lit up and stuff. He thought that was awesome for some reason. And then once you get to like the actual, like it's really immersive, it's really pretty, but once you get to the actual like mirror maze part, it's really short. Either that or, who knows, maybe we were just really smart and we got through it way faster. That could also be a possibility. And then, after the mirror maze, we did Outbreak, Dread the Undead. And this is something that we did a long time ago. And I believe it was before we knew about our headmates and stuff. It was before we really, like, came to terms and, like, learned that about ourselves. But thinking back, I think it was Addie who went through this the first time. And this was when we were like 11, I think, 10 maybe. And they've been to haunted houses a lot of times before, but this one like scared the shit out of them for some reason. I don't know why. Like going back, it's like, it's not an extreme haunted house, you know? It's not like that scary of one. We have a lot of haunted houses in our area, and like the majority of them are scarier than this one, so I don't know what was going on there, but we decided to do it again. And this time Blaz was out and Tara were still kind of out too, and so it was like Blaz was like fronting and Chaos was kind of like off to the side, or Tara was kind of off to the side, sorry. It's like a zombie haunted house, as you can tell by the name. You're going through like this like government facility place where they were like experimenting on people and they accidentally made zombies. And so there aren't a lot of actual actors in this one. There are some, but it's mostly like jump scare kind of scares, you know? They have like noises and sounds and like air things and stuff like that that are like just normal jump scares, and then they have animatronics and stuff that are set up, and they also have these screens, and this is probably the coolest part of this haunted house. Blaz really liked it anyway. He's a little weird, but they have these big screens that like show things that are happening. So like the wall will be made to like look like an actual door, and then the screen will like take up where the window should be on the door. So it looks like it's like actually happening. Like it's set up not to look like a computer screen. It's set up to look like something that's really like there. And so they have all these different like scenes and stuff that are playing on them. And there's this one where if you walk up to it, this scientist will like come running down the hall, and then like a zombie grabs him and to be as least gory as possible, like kills him against the door, and water will like actual water sprays out from like underneath the screen, so it feels like there's blood, you know? Blaz thought that was really cool. He wasn't expecting it the first time though. It got us good the first time that we went through it too, so I don't know how he didn't remember that part, but he got again. And then there was also a moment in the haunted house, the part where I got like where we got scared the most was we were walking down this hallway, and they have like these zombies behind fences on either side of you, and it like comes crashing in, you know? And so this wasn't like that scary. However, our dad like screamed, like trying to scare everybody in the group. He like just screamed, and Blaz jumped so bad. It was so funny. He also screamed in this like high-pitched like little girl voice too. Not Blaz. Our dad did, like, to make it funny that he was scaring us with that. He did that, and it was I can't believe he got us like that. It was really funny. And then after we were done going to all of this place, we went and we picked up food from a place called Puckett's. Let me see Puckett's in Gatlinburg. It's like a barbecue place. I guess I don't really need to... Puckett's restaurant. It's not showing me. Okay, that's fine. We went to this place and we picked up a bunch of food. So this was another like family thing that we did after the whole Castle of Chaos and all that kind of stuff. So we went and we picked up food from this place called Puckett's, and they have like a bunch of different kinds of barbecue food. They have a lot of meats. They have like all the sides and stuff that you would expect. So like baked beans, mac and cheese, like smoked mac and cheese. They had potato salad, just that kind of stuff there. And so personally, we don't really like barbecue. There's some of us who like it more than others. I know Bunley's ribs a lot, but we're generally not a big fan of barbecue foods other than like the sides and stuff. So we were a little wary. We were a little bit wary going into it, because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like any of this food. And obviously we didn't want to be like rude while we're in front of like family members and stuff. So was slightly afraid of that. We got to the cabin and everybody like started setting up all the food and stuff like a buffet thing, so everybody could just get what they wanted. And Joseph went up, he tried little portions of everything because he was scared of the food. And he was right that he wasn't gonna like the meats. With like barbecue restaurants and stuff, a lot of times they like smoke the meats, and that's like, we don't like that. He did like eat a little bit of meatloaf, I think, but that was like the only meat that he had. But they did have really good, their mac and cheese was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was really good. It's smoked, but it doesn't have like an overwhelming smoky flavor. You know, sometimes when you get barbecue, like smoked mac and cheese, it'll have like a really strong flavor. It wasn't like this. It had like a little bit of like a tiny bit of like a spice to it, but it was mostly like mild, very cheesy, very nice. And then they also had, I know they had baked beans. Those were good. What else can I recommend? I didn't actually eat it myself. I'm kind of just going based off what Joseph liked, but... Hello? OBS? Okay, are we back? Sorry, OBS like timed out for a second there. What was I saying? Food. I know there was other food, but I can't remember it now. We did try sweet potatoes for the first time in a long time. I think the last time we had them was like literally elementary school, so Joseph was like, I'll give it a try. I'll see how it tastes. Never again. Maybe if they were like warm, they could have been good, because I know some people eat them warm, but these were like cold sweet potatoes, and bleh, it was so gross. I think he said that they were like, to him it tasted like mushy carrots, but they were cold, so it was like not good. It's like mushy carrots mixed with like mashed potatoes, and did not like them. Will not try again. After we were done eating, though, we were with family for a little bit, and we tend to get overwhelmed sometimes, just with sensory stuff. Like, being in a place where, like, everybody is, like, having different conversations and, like, talking and stuff in, like, the same room can be really overwhelming. So we went ahead and we went out back, and we sat on, like, this little balcony, and it overlooked, like, the woods. It was really pretty out there. There were porch swings, so we could, like, just sit down and relax, be on our phone for a little bit. And then our mom came out and joined us after a little bit, and then then other people started coming out more. I was like, Joseph was so sad. He was like, I just wanted time to decompress, and all of these people are invading my space. But then, they went back inside. And then our grandmother came out, and she's the exception. She's always the exception. Our Grammy is, like, our favorite relative. She's so sweet. She's such a nice woman, and so we were really happy that she came out and talked with Joseph for a little bit. So it was really nice. And then, after that, we just went back home, back to the cabin, and relaxed there for a little bit, and went to bed for our next day. So, our next day started out a little bit chaotically. We got a late start out, and then we were supposed to be going to the Titanic Museum. And so... Oh yeah! This is... Oh no! This is the day that... If you haven't been on Twitter, you wouldn't have seen this, but... Or, I don't even know if I mentioned it on Twitter. I don't know if it was ever mentioned on Twitter or if it was just on our quote of accounts. But anyway, as we were rushing out the door, this was Cecil. Cecil, for some reason, does not like to take his time on stairs. And it had been raining. You can see where this is going. He fell hard down these stairs. I mean, we're still, like, covered in bruises from this. He, like, his foot slipped off the step, and then he went down the stairs, and then he hit at the bottom. The bottom was concrete. And then he fell forward on the bottom as well. So he fell forward and caught himself on his hands. So it was a bad fall. His hands were scraped up for a few days. They were like the least of the issue. We have like, our knees are all bruised up. I think there's like 20 bruises in total on our knees. There's like up our, like thigh, there's bruises. There's bruises on like our butt and our there was bruises on like our butt and our back. And then, but for the most part we were, oh, and we had a big scrape down our leg too. Yeah. We had like a big scrape down one of our legs. And so that wasn't good, obviously, especially when you're in a place where you're supposed to be like walking a lot and stuff. But honestly, I do think being up and active a lot helped with it, because for the most part, it didn't hurt that much after the fact. We were definitely sore, and like definitely had to take some things like slow sometimes, but for the most part we were okay. Like, it should have been broken bones. Like, considering everything, we should have broken something. So, very lucky and glad that nothing worse happened with that. Really, the only thing that, like, bothered us for, like, a longer period was, like, where we had landed on our back. So, if you don't know, there's, like, obviously there's places on your body where you can take impact and it won't hurt as much. Like, obviously, like, your legs, your butt, stuff like that. Like, if you fall on those areas, like, they're padded, so you're not gonna hurt yourself. Falling on your back is one of the worst things that you can do, and that's where he landed. Like, the first time that he landed off on the concrete was lower back. So, like, that's what hit first. So, that was really sore for a couple of days, but, it was really only if you, like, moved a certain way and stuff like that, so it's fine now. We didn't, like, do any bad damage or anything, luckily. But yeah, that was a treat beforehand, and so our mom was, like, our parents were like, do you even, like, want to go anywhere anymore? And Cecil was like, yeah, I still want to go everywhere, which was probably the better choice anyway. Number one, don't let your vacation get ruined. Don't let the universe spite you like that. And second of all, like, I do think the moving and stuff helped a lot, probably. Like, with the muscle soreness and stuff, I think moving and staying active and stuff helped that stay, like, okay. Helped it, like, not get, like, tight or anything. So, we still went, and we arrived at the Titanic Museum, which we had tickets for. And we go in, and my mom shows, like, the order ticket thing. And the lady goes, this is for a different day. So, we scheduled the tickets wrong. I didn't schedule the tickets wrong. Like, we, as the headmates, did not schedule it wrong. It was all our mother's fault. It was all her fault. It's all her doing. No, we weren't mad at her. But, So we couldn't go that day, obviously. We had to wait for the next day. So instead, we went to this we went to this place called Beyond the Lens, and this is where I think it was just Gabe, I think. And so this picture is from Beyond the Lens. This is the big entrance that you go into. And Beyond the Lens is kind of just like this chaotic, interactive museum type place. There's a bunch of photo ops and stuff, so there's a lot of places where you can get your pictures taken. And you can do it like with your own phone and stuff too. But they have picture cards where you can like scan like a QR code, and then they'll take like professional pictures for you, like a machine will. And then at the end, you're able to see them and like buy them if you want. So we did that, and that was really fun for Gabe. He likes like places where he can do like photo ops and see like a lot of different cool things. They had, I'm trying to think of the like places that were the coolest. So I know he really liked, there was one place where they had like a bunch of like optical illusion pictures that you could take. So they were like, there was like a kaleidoscope thing that you walked through, and there was this like sideways bedroom, so you can make it look like you're like climbing the walls and stuff like that, or like levitating. There was an area about Bigfoot, and so they had like a bunch of information on Bigfoot sightings and stuff, and we found one that was close to our area. And then they had like, obviously they had pictures and stuff there too. They had this big retro games area where they had different video games and stuff set up from different old machines. So they had the NES, they had like the first Atari, and they had like, you could actually like play games on them and stuff, so that was cool. What else? They had like Sega Genesis there, and then they also had this thing called a fly ride, and this one I don't think we got pictures of, so I won't be able to show you it. But they have this fly ride, and so basically you go in and you sit down in these like just normal kind of seat things, and so then they, once you're like buckled in and everything, they give you glasses, and no, they don't give you glasses. You don't have glasses for this one. This one isn't 3D. Scratch that. You don't have glasses. You don't have glasses for this. If you've ever been to Disney World, it's similar to Soarin', but obviously like less production quality because Disney. But it's like you go around to like different places in America. There was the Grand Canyon, there was New York City, just places like that where you can like sightsee, and it feels like you're going like over and like flying over these places, because the seats and everything, they like lift up off the floor and then they like just gently move. So it's not like you're like nose diving or anything like that, but it's just like a nice little relaxing thing to do. And they also had things set up where, like, when we were going over pine trees, for example, you could like smell the pine, or when you were going over the ocean, it would like splash you with water. So it was a very enjoyable, nice, relaxing kind of thing to do. And I don't think we have a picture of this. But there was one area with a Sasquatch statue. Okay. And for the most part, everything here has been like really interactive. You're supposed to like touch things and pose with them and like stuff like that, you know. So our mom decides, hey, I want a picture with the Sasquatch. So she goes over and she's just like, she's not like, how do I say this? She's not sitting, but she's like not squatting, like crouched. She's like crouched beside the Sasquatch, okay? And so she's like right in front of the Sasquatch, and then the Sasquatch statue is like right behind her. And she moves back just a little bit. The Sasquatch falls. The Sasquatch falls down, and it makes this big loud clatter. Me and my dad thought it was gonna be broken. I was so scared. I was like, please do not get us kicked out of this place, Mom. Please don't get us kicked out. The statue was fine. The mother was maybe not as fine. The next day she had like a big bruise down her arm and stuff, and it was not great. But so We have matching bruises from our vacation. I know, guys. It's so cute. Such a cute family thing that we did together. So yeah, she got injured by the Sasquatch, but the Sasquatch was fine. Sasquatch statue just got picked back up. At some point, it was bolted down because it had the little like places where you're supposed to bolt it down at, and there were other statues in there that had the same things, and they were bolted down. So I think he was supposed to be bolted down, but he was not, so he fell. Now I guess I can show you some of the pictures that we got. Obviously, again, these aren't all of them, because we couldn't get all of them. I'm so mad. I'm still so mad that I did, like, not all of them sent through, but it's whatever. So this is at the very beginning of the section, of the place. And so this area is, like, Hollywood stuff, and so you put your hands down on this machine, scan your hand, and then you could, like, write your name under it. So this is just, like, an example of what some of them looked like. I don't think ours is up there or anything, but, like, yeah, they, like, just scan the photo of your hand, so it's, like your hands are on, like, the little Hollywood thing, you know? And then, this is part of the Age of Technology area, and so most of this, I knew what most of this stuff was, because we're young, but we're not that young, you know? I think, let me see if I can find any of the stuff that I was like, what is that? Well, I guess it was Gabe, but let me see. We always interchangeably use I for, like, each other, and I think that confuses people sometimes, so I try not to do it too much. I try to correct myself, but, you know, it's like one body. What are you gonna do? Some of the stuff down here, I was a little confused about. Oh my god, I did it again. We were a little confused about. I should just say we. It's because we're so used to masking, I think, where we have to, like, just, like, to people in real life, we just kind of have to say, yeah, it's, like, just 1%, haha. And so we, like, get in the habit of doing that, and then when we want to unmask, it, like, doesn't fully work, but it's whatever. I did have to note, however, that this Age of Technology explosion thing had some stuff in here. Makes me feel a little bit old. They have Wii Fit down here. They got Wii games, and up here they had a 3DS and a flip phone. And I was like, that's not old stuff. What's up with all the old stuff? And so I was looking. I was like, well, maybe they had, like, stuff up to, like, this point too. And maybe they have 2023 stuff, but, like, there's no VR set. There's nothing new on there. Except maybe, like, the phones, but iPhones have been around for what, like, a really long time, like, since, like, earlier 2000s, I think, maybe. So, like, kind of made me feel old. That's okay. We're not that old. We're just turning 19. That's not old. I refuse. Okay, this is one of the examples of the game systems that were set up, and this one in particular we took because we took it because Kindred. if you know, you know. If you watch a Vox, you know why this picture was taken. All right. So I think Bun might have come out a little bit during this one. He was like, oh, it's the game! It's the game, guys! And you can actually, like, play all these games too, like with the little controllers that were down here. Obviously these aren't, like, the real controllers. These are, like, plastic things with buttons in them, but they're made to look like the real controllers. And so you actually get to play them and stuff. This was the, like, first big room that we walked into that was really cool. They also, forgot to say, had some virtual reality stuff. So they had one where we went and it was like you sat in this, like, Jeep thing, and you put on the VR headset and you, like, went on a safari with dinosaurs. But at one point a T-Rex chases you, and it's not scary. It's not a scary one. It was just interesting. But while this T-Rex is running at you, there's this little dinosaur gets in his way. And he just headbutted him out of there. And it was so funny, but so sad. He just went like flying off into space. So Gabe was like cackling when that happened. And then there was also one that was like a Star Wars kind of thing. It wasn't officially licensed as Star Wars, but you could tell that's what it was based off of, where you were like flying a thing and you were like shooting at bad guys or whatever. I'm trying to think if they had any other like big exhibits. Because that one just like popped in my brain. Are there other ones? I don't think there were any. I mean, obviously there were other ones, but I don't think there were any that were like major, like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Oh, this is not. Gabe is recording, obviously. So we're not playing this, but our parents are. And so they were playing Pong against each other, and so it's like an actual, like, it's like a hockey thing almost, but you're like just using little controllers on the sides, and so you can actually play Pong there. That was also in the video game exhibit place. And then this was also in the video game exhibit place, and my parents both like pointed this out to us because this was like the first video game system that was like an at-home. Obviously, it was the first at-home gaming system, so it was the first gaming system that they had growing up as kids and stuff. So I thought that was cool to see what they used to play on. All right, this is one of the optical illusion rooms. So you want to like ignore this black stuff, okay? And so if you look at this, it looks like a bed on a floor, right? And then like this is the like right wall, this is the forward wall, but it's not like that. So you can kind of see where I grab people out, but this is up on a wall, this whole part is, and then this is the floor, and this is up on the other wall. So you're able to take pictures like you're like levitating and stuff. I know I mentioned that one, but that's like what one of the optical illusion exhibits looked like. Then there was this one where you could pose with like the White House and stuff. Oh, they did have a thing on the JFK conspiracy that Gabe thought was interesting. So it was like the different like theories and stuff that have happened there. I think most people know what probably happened, but I won't say things on this stream because I don't want to get bonked. This was another area in the Hollywood place, so you can't really tell in this because this free trial thing. I had to crop this out and I had to use a software. So this was like a big case just full of money, and then you could sit on it and take a picture. And then this was like where you could get your mugshot. Obviously it's better with the people in it, but we're not showing that, obviously, we're faceless. So this is like, yeah, you could take a little mugshot, and they did this with like the cameras and stuff. So some of this, like the background and the like sign and everything that we were holding, that is all like real, but like this guilty thing and like the shading and everything like that, that comes afterwards. So they do like edit and like Photoshop the pictures so that they look cooler. This is part of their space exhibit, so this is like one of their little alien statues, and then in the back here they talk about like the moon landing and stuff like that, like the history of it. This is the Bigfoot area. This guy was actually a statue. You can't really tell in this picture, but he is like a big Sasquatch statue. This is not the Sasquatch that Mom knocked down. This is in a different area, but this was where all the Bigfoot information was at. Then this is also part of the space one, where you can pose with like the flag and it looks like you're like landing on the moon. And then, yeah, that's it for those pictures. So that's it for Beyond the Lens. And we did not do anything else that day. Other than eating. We did eat at, I believe we ate at Five Guys that day. Five Guys, we don't have a Five Guys where we're at, but it's so good. Wait. Was that the day that we ate at Five Guys? I don't think it was. I don't know what we ate that day. maybe we ordered something. I don't know. I'm a little confused now. I got my days mixed up, guys. Yeah, I don't know where we went for that. That's weird. Alright, I guess we can move on then, to our next day. Still can't remember. It's making me mad. I think we must have ordered something or something like that. Then we go to the Alcatraz Museum. And the Alcatraz Museum, despite the name, is not just about Alcatraz. It's a whole crime museum, so there's a bunch of different sections. There's a section on... You know what? I can probably look that up for you guys. I have to be careful, you can see my search history. No, joking. Let me see. Okay. So if I look, see, this shows temporary exhibits. No, it's not this. No, it's not these. Let me see. I know they have a list of all the things that they had. Crime library, maybe? Oh, no, this is like literally a library. Okay, not what I was looking for. Inside, maybe. Okay, yes, these are the different galleries that they have. So, the first thing they have is, okay, so the first thing they have is like... This is not the first thing they have. They have this out of order. Boo. Sad. Bad website. No, I'm joking. They start off with stuff from, like, medieval times. So they have, like, the consequences of crime during the Salem witch trials, during, like, medieval England, during the Puritan times, that kind of stuff. And then they had, the American crime stuff afterwards. I guess they split this one up, but maybe that's why they put it in this order. After that they have, like, a history of different, crime, like, the Wild West gangsters, and then they did actual, like, big crimes, like, there was 9/11, there was an exhibit on 9/11, there was one for, there were one for some, like, mass shootings. There was also some exhibits on, like, bombings and stuff like that. So just things like that. And then they had stuff about serial killers, or just, like, famous killer cases in general. They had, like, O.J. Simpson, Casey Anthony, Jeffrey Dahmer, those people. Ed Gein was in there at some point. I'll be able to show you more from the pictures there, because I do have all the pictures that I took. So, well, that we took, I should say. And this was Chaos's thing. Chaos was so enamored by this. Then they went on to, yeah, crime scene investigation. So they had some forensic stuff set up. They had, like, a fake autopsy table, which I think Ryan might have popped out a little bit during this time, just because he is so interested in that kind of stuff. If you don't know, I don't know that I think he has mentioned this before, but he has like, wanting to, like, be, like, in the morgue and stuff, like, working there as a mortuary person. So that was pretty interesting to him, at least. And then they continued on, and then they have stuff about, like, crime fighting, which, boo, cops, you know, ew, we don't like that. No. There are some crime fighting people that are good, but the system is, at least in America, is horrible right now. So we did learn a little bit about that. There was some cool stuff there. I will admit there was some cool stuff to see. Chaos was like, ew, gross. he's like probably like the most left out of all of us. So he's like, no, bad, gross. And then they had, like, counterfeit crimes and, like, pop culture and stuff. So, like, fake medications, like, knockoff designer clothes, stuff like that was interesting to find out about. And then they did have These are not the temporary exhibits that they have right now. Or that they had. They didn't have that. This was not there. Yeah, this isn't what they have right now. They had or at least when we were there, it wasn't there. They had, their temporary exhibit was cars. It was cars of, like, different things. So they had, like, the Bonnie and Clyde car. They had not Jeffrey Dahmer. Ted Bundy's car. They had O.J. Simpson's car from, like, the like, big highway chase thing. And these are all, like, real. These are, like, the actual cars that they had. And I think maybe it was, like, the last one was, like, a gangster, maybe Al Capone. I'll be able to show you guys all of that, though. So let's go on to these pictures. So this is in the medieval exhibit. These are different, like, torture methods. So they would, like, tear flesh off of you with. So I should maybe, hold on a second. I'm gonna put up a little warning just in case. I know some people can be, like, bothered by that kind of stuff. Let's see. Properties. I'm gonna say... make this white text so you can see it better. It was black, but it's gonna be hard to see on there. And then this should be good. Let's put it in here. Make it a little smaller so you can see. Okay, there we go. I just don't want anybody to, like, pop in stream thinking it's gonna be, like, nice and happy right now. I'll take this off once we're out of the Alcatraz Museum. I'll also put up a content warning for the Titanic one, because I know that a tragedy can be sad for some people, like hearing about the, like, deeper stuff with it. So yeah, this is a medieval thing. So what they would do with these is they would, like, this was, what is this from? Does this say, I think it says 13th century or maybe 15th century, one of the two. So they would just use this to, like, rip flesh off of people during, like, interrogations or like torture sessions. So these little blades would, like, hook into you and, like, rip you up a little bit. And then this is just, like, an example of an axe that would be used for executions, or even, like, things where they would, like cut your hand off if you stole things, stuff like that. These are more medieval devices. You can see our shadow there. These are more medieval devices. This is just something that I think they just use to, like, keep people still with. And then this heretic's fork, you put this part on, like, at the base of the neck, and then you put this underneath the chin, so that the person has to keep their head up, or, like, if they put it down, obviously they will be they will impale themselves on it, you know. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at that. I was more laughing at me trying to find the words. A little bit of a deeper discussion here. Shouldn't be laughing. I will give you some closer looks at this stuff. There we go. Okay, so this is stuff from different mobsters. So this here is, like, in this box, is a bunch of stuff that was found in the Bonnie and Clyde car after they died. So people, like, rummaged through their car, like, shortly after it, and they took stuff from it. And so this is some of the stuff. I think this is soil. That is I want to say it's part of the car. A stick that was at the scene, some of the glass from the car window, a coin, stuff like that. And then down here is Frank Hammer's ring. He was a Texas Ranger, I guess. So this was his ring there. And then this is a set of stuff from Al Capone's offices. So these are all things that belong to him. I think there's mostly silverware here, but there's like a key, a little badge for the hotel room, a bullet, stuff like that. These are the handcuffs that they used on Jeffrey Dahmer. So when he was arrested, these were the ones that they had on him. This is the signature of Jeffrey Dahmer is on here. So yeah, these are like written down stuff about them, and this is his signature down there. If you're interested in true crime and stuff, this is like a very interesting place to go. Obviously, again, the whole place is not about true crime. It has all the other different exhibits too, so there's a lot to learn about and stuff. But this part in particular was interesting to at least Chaos, because he's very into that kind of stuff. He's actually considered like going into that as a field and stuff. It's so difficult when all of us want to go into different lines of work. The only thing that we can agree on is our creative stuff, like VTubing and stuff like that. The rest of us are just like so scattered everywhere. I don't remember who drew this. Otis someone? I didn't get the plate on this one. I can't quite make that out. But this is a drawing of someone drew that. This was drawn by Charles Manson, which is surprising. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And then, and then he looked at the thing. It was by Charles Manson. So I guess Charles Manson was a good artist, which is really weird to think about. Technically, he never killed anyone. He just very much encouraged other people to do it for him. He manipulated and made a cult and had other people die. But he didn't kill people himself. This is a baseball that Charles Manson signed. I don't know where his signature is at. Oh, it was signed by multiple, it says, actually. Juan Corona? Haven't heard of that guy before. But yeah. These are the suits that John Wayne Gacy would wear when he was in his clown outfit, which was like super jarring. I think this is probably the most interesting thing that they had in there, because I was not expecting that. I honestly, like, going in, I wasn't expecting a whole lot on serial killers to begin with, but there was a lot. Like, it was a big part of it. Chaos was like very, like, I don't want to say happy, because like when you say happy, it's normally like a positive thing, but I don't know. Then there is a painting that he did of himself, his little clown get up thing, creep. And then this is the other clown suit that they have. So they have both of them. I don't know if he had more than two, but I know it's like Patches and someone else. Pongo, something like that. Pogo and Patches, something like that. So these are the actual, I think they are the actual ones that he wore. This is his paint set. So this is like what he would use to make his like paintings and stuff. This is from his stuff when he was in prison. He did make a lot of pieces while he was in prison, so it makes sense that they would still be able to have this. These are a dental cast of Ted Bundy. They have, let's see, I think they have one, oh no, this is the full set of Ted Bundys. I was gonna say it was possibly, one of these was like, to look off of each other, but looking at the teeth, yeah, those aren't the same teeth at all. It's bottom and top set. These are Jeffrey Dahmer's glasses. So these are the ones that he wore while he was in prison. This is, I don't know if this is, yeah, these are replicas. So this is like examples of what they used during the pizza bomber incident. That's what the weapons looked like. Whose is this? Oh, this is Ed Gein. He did kill people, but he's more famous for the, like, he's the serial killer that Leatherface was based off of. So he would also, like, grave rob and stuff, and he would make furniture and clothes and masks and stuff out of dead people. This is his little, like, writing things. I don't know if this is a tooth or not. I think maybe this might be a tooth, but I'm not sure. This is stuff from Columbine. They have, like, the little pin that they put out after it. I'm guessing, like, in loving memory of our friends. So that's, like, stuff from an actual victim that donated their things. This is about the anthrax attacks. So the anthrax attacks were, like, where they would, like, send letters and it would be covered in anthrax, and anthrax, like, kills you immediately if you are around it. This is the I believe this is the jersey of Matthew Shepard. So that was, like, his jersey. If you don't know about that, it's, like, it's huge in LGBTQ history. It was essentially a lynching. I don't know if this is his or if this is James Bird's. Let me see if it says. Because that was a lynching of a black man. Yeah, it doesn't say who that one belongs to. This is stuff on the KKK, so it has stuff that they would have. So disgusting. The fact that they have, like, the Confederate flag and everything back here, and people still think that the Confederate flag is, like, an okay and cool thing to represent them is so beyond me. Like, especially in the South. Like, where this is at, there is, like, literally in the same area, same town, they have a museum with KKK things that have Confederate flags and stuff like that on them. And then they have stores where you can buy Confederate flags. So, like, I hate it, honestly. I wish we could grow as a nation, but people are just too ignorant. But yes, this is stuff from the KKK. This is also from the KKK. This is, like, the, like, uniform thing that they would wear, I guess. Again, there's the Confederate flag. It's not a good symbol. It's a hate symbol. Then we have pages from the Fort Hood shooter. And this is, like, something that he wrote. It's a different page from him. This was stuff that was in John Wayne Gacy's suit after his trial. It's so weird to think of, like, there's an alien thing and stuff, like, it's crazy. This is the suit that he wore. This is Kaylee Anthony's things. So her little teddy bears, some toys, her backpack. That's so sad. We all know what actually happened there, but it's such a sad case. These are things that the Alcatraz prison guards would have. So they would, like, have this little uniform pin. They would carry this to, like, defend themselves. I don't know what this is. Oh, these are program instructions. This was another thing done by John Wayne Gacy. So this is, like, a toy truck, and then he painted the dwarves on it. This is another painting by him with the different Hollywood killers, which, again, very jarring. When I think about these cases and stuff, a lot of times I think of them, like, as if they were a long time ago, but, like, that's not true. like, John Wayne Gacy was not that long ago, and it's crazy to think about, like, something like that happening in current times. I mean, obviously we still do have serial killers and stuff, but, like, to have one that is so widespread and so horrifying, at least where we live, it's, like, that's scary to think about. But, like, yeah, like, Freddy Krueger, not Jeffrey, Freddy Krueger, is, like, new, you know? Not new, but same difference. This is the rosary that Al Capone had. I guess he, like, became religious while he was incarcerated. And then this is an example of what his prison cell would have looked like. So, because he was a, like, really popular and powerful gangster, he has a lot more things than, like, most people would have in prison. This is what the lethal injection machine looks like. I believe it's the current one. I'm not positive about that, but yes, that's what this looks like. If someone is sentenced to the death penalty, this is the lethal injection machine. Right, here are the cars that I was talking about. Yeah, this is Ted Bundy's Volkswagen. This is the Bonnie and Clyde car. You can see all the, like, bullet holes and stuff in it. So that was, like, the one that they actually died in. This is the car that O.J. Simpson was driving down in the highway chase. And I thought there was another car, but oh yeah, this red one. I guess I didn't get a picture of it. I think Chaos might have just, like, glanced over it because it was like a gang person's car, like a mobster. And then we have stuff about the Pinkertons. The reason we took this picture specifically is because the Pinkertons are very big in the history where we are at. I won't, like, go into specifics because I don't want to dox us, but they were an important part in history, a negative important part, at least for what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is, like, their stuff. This is body armor that a bomb squad would use. So if a bomb squad ever comes in, this is, like, an example of what they would have to wear. It's huge. Like, this picture doesn't really show it, but it, like, this thing towers over you. It's really big. And then at the very end, they had a little thing about big cats, which was out of place for the crime museum. But this is, like, a print taken of a tiger track, and they kept, like, the depth and everything in it. You can't really see it in this picture, but yeah. Chaos thought that was interesting for them to have, like, the little paw print. And then this is more stuff from the beginning, like the Middle Age stuff. So this is, like, one of those things that they would, like, lock your head in here, your arms here, and then you would, like, get stuff thrown at you, I think. And then this picture turned out really creepy with the, like, with the removing the people in it, because it just, normally it, like, blurs. Like, see, you can see a little bit of blurs, like, where hands were there. But this one just, like, turn them into a shadow person. And so, but this is, like, one of the things that they would, like, dunk supposed, like, accused witches of into, like, lakes and stuff with. So they would, like, sit on this chair. I'm guessing they would probably be tied down. And then they would, like, dunk them in water. This is just a cop car. It's actually not that interesting without the person, I guess. But you can actually, like, go in and, like, see what the cop car looks like and stuff like that. As someone who has never been arrested before, Chaos thought it was, like, kind of interesting to see what one looked like. Okay, and this is our next day, I believe. No, it's the same day, but different place. So this is the one where we ate at Five Guys, I believe. No. Maybe. Oh my god. No, it's not. No, we ate at we ate at Anarchista, and these are the pictures that I'm going to be showing you. So Anarchista is this big place. I am going to have to show you the website for sure, because I know there's stuff that I didn't get a picture of. Anarchista. So let's go to things to do, and I'll show you some of the stuff. Oh. Okay. So first thing you do is you get here and you can either go on this chairlift, which is really, really big and really tall, or you can take a cabin on there. They have like 6-person cabins, or like small little box kind of things, kind of like what you would see at an amusement park, like with those little like skylift stuff that they have. But they did not have cabins available. They were like, there's only 2 of them, and everyone was waiting for it because when we showed up, it was raining really hard. And luckily it did stop like pretty much as soon as we got to the top, which was really nice. But obviously, you don't want to take a chairlift in the rain, and so we decided to go on this instead. We didn't want to wait, and we definitely didn't want to do the chairlift, so we went ahead and we went on this little thing, this little truck, and then it like takes you up, and there was this little girl sitting in front of us. She was maybe like 1.5, something like that. Oh my gosh, she was so precious. She kept turning around and waving and stuff. It was so cute. So this was, who all was here at Anarchista? I know Ariel was out at the beginning, and then I think it switched over to Aesop later on. Yeah. So the beginning of this is all like Ariel. And then I wonder if they just have a map or something, because this is not showing everything. Okay. So we came up around here. You can see my mouse. At this restaurant. And then that's where we ate at. So it's this, the restaurant is really nice. It's a place where it's like, it overlooks the mountains on this side. So we got to sit by the window and see the mountains and everything. The food there was kind of mid. I know the other people that were with us enjoyed the food, but I can't recommend the mac and cheese. At least Ariel didn't like it. It was really soupy. But the rest of everything here was amazing. So, as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And you can see these little, like, flowers here. These statues and stuff were, like, everywhere. They had a bunch of flowers and stuff. You can kind of see it down here. Natural waterways and everything. And it's all at the top of this mountain. It's so nice. And then, so we went and we shopped around a little bit there, and then we went ahead and we ate. And then we walked down to, like, the other shops and saw what was, like, going on down there. There's not much going on this side of the thing. Most of, like, the actual, like, activities to do are up in this area. So, first thing that we did was go to this treetop place. Not that one. There's one for little kids because we didn't realize, we couldn't tell where this one was at, and so we were thinking this Treehouse Adventure place, which was not listed as a play area, was like the big treehouse area that you go through. So we went through that a little, took some pictures and stuff, then realized it was for kids and left. After that, we went ahead and did the actual tree venture course, which is like, it's these big tree houses and stuff. It's actually not as big as it shows here in the picture. It's a little difficult. But like, our dad is like 6'2", and he was still fine going through things. So you can be tall and go like, and big and bulky and stuff and go through it, but it is a little bit of a tight fit. It's more like a McDonald's playground type thing. It's just bigger. And then we did not do this. It was down because it was raining, and that's also more money. And then this thing is like just like stuff that you walk across. So like when you're getting from place to place, you can go through this little like course thing. It's like a balance type thing. Ariel did do this because she was bored and she just she wanted something to do while she walked. And then we went ahead and went to this overlook thing. What do they call it? The observation tower. So this is 86 steps up. It's very tall. It like when you're up on it, the whole thing like sways a little bit, which was kind of like janky. But it was nice to be able to like look out and see all the mountains and everything. And then they also have these places where it's just like glass, and so you can like stand on it and like look down and see how far up you are and stuff. And then lastly, we had a canopy treetop skywalk, and this is where, or no, this tree venture place is where Aesop started to come out. And then he was like fully in control and everything, like fully the headmate that was there on this canopy skywalk. So it doesn't look tall from here. But yeah, it's 50 to 60 feet in the air, which doesn't sound like a lot until you're up there. These are all just rope bridges, so they do move and everything while you're walking on them. And then they have these platforms which also like sway a little bit. It's a little bit scary being up there. I know Aesop was honestly more concerned when he was on the platforms, which was weird. I think because when you're walking through here, it's not as scary as when you're just like stagnant and you can feel it like swaying a lot. Some were just straight rope bridges. Some of them actually like went up a bit, so like it was kind of like hiking. This is also very long. It's like a hike through the whole area of the park. Yeah, it's 880 feet of bridges that you walk through, and they're all up in the trees, so the ground is very far below you. That's the last thing that we did there, and my mom was horrified. My mom was so scared. She had to keep holding on to people and stuff. It was, oh my gosh. She almost got rope burn on her hands from like dragging her hands on it. I don't know what she expected. She knew this was high in the air, but she was too scared. And then after this, we just went and we got Baskin Robbins, which is a really nice ice cream place. We recommend their cotton candy one. I know it sounds like a little bit basic, but their cotton candy ice cream is truly better than like any other cotton candy ice cream that you could think of. It's very good. So here's some of the pictures that I got at this place. This was an area where you could go and sit and just overlook the mountains. So there's a picture of the mountains in the background. And then they had this overlook area, so it's like it's like branches that are shaped like a heart, and you can get pictures taken. This is a little tunnel there were a lot of flowers and stuff before this, so this is like a tunnel of ivy that's like in the middle of the garden. This is one of the cooler places. They have, I don't think we have the painting things shown here, but they had these, and then they had these big paint tubes on the hillside, and the flowers were planted so it looked like it was like paint spilling out from them. It was really, really cool. Very pretty. And so this was like the base of that place. Oh, is that it for any of these stuff? Must have been. Okay. So that's it for the pictures that we have, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, then we go to Titanic. Oh, I still have my trigger warning up, don't I? Well, I still have to... I had to change it right now anyway, so... I had to put it back in. I'll try to remember to take that off there. Titanic talk. Okay. Next we went to the Titanic Museum. This is the 5th day of our trip. So, we're gonna be talking a lot about the Titanic. Obviously, like, I'm not gonna get into details. We all know what the Titanic was, but there are some sad things in there, like, there's memorabilia and stuff from people who were actually on there, so just be warned. That's the only reason I put up a content warning there. So this is outside. There's a big boat in the background. It's like, that's what the thing is shaped like. So this is just like in front of the place. Got a picture taken there. And you have to wait for a good while. The way that they have this set up is not the best. So you get your ticket, like, on the hour, or on, like, 30 minutes or something like that, but you still have to wait, like, an hour to get in, which isn't great. I don't know if they could have just been running late that day or something, but it's better to schedule tickets at, like, specific times, I think. If they had done it in, like, 15-minute intervals, which was when they were letting groups in, I think that would have been a lot better. So the management, like, of the getting in part isn't great, but once you get in there, it's really good. You go in and you have the option of, well, you don't really have the option. They give you an audio tour thing, and then you have the option to use it or not. We didn't use it just because we're more of people who, like, go and look at things. I guess not all of us are. I guess there's some of us who really like listening to audio stuff, but Cecil did not. So Cecil just went in, with his things, like, just looking, not listening to the audio, thing at all. So there were a lot of different, everything is the Titanic, obviously, and so there's some exhibits that are, like, just, like, lots of glass cases and pictures on the walls and stuff like that, and then there's other places where it actually, like, are, like, replica areas of the Titanic. So there was one area where it was, like, the hallway that you would go through. There was an example of a third-class room. There was, just things like that. And then there was also a... What was I thinking? Lost my train of thought. Hold on. Oh, there was an area where you could actually put your hand into water that would have been, like, Titanic temperatures. And so it is salt water. I know that for a fact. Because you could smell, like, the salt and stuff on your hands afterwards. But it's, like, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that would be in Celsius. My non-Americans. Negative 2 degrees Celsius. So, very, very cold water. Your hands will, like, almost immediately start, like, cramping up. For a minute, like, you put it in there and it's, like, just kind of like a shock. Like, it's cold and it, like, kind of burns. And then it starts to feel okay as your hand gets used to the temperature. And then it comes in with, like, the cramping and stuff. And it's literally, like, within less than a minute. So you can really think about how awful it would have been to, like, be submerged in that. I guess I can show you the pictures now. Let's see. So this is an example of I believe a first class area. With all the little, like, gowns and stuff like that. This is just, like, an example room. This wasn't a, like, actual, like, things from the Titanic exhibit, you know? This is a pocket watch from a first class passenger. So that's his, little watch, and you can see, how much money they're valued at, which I guess isn't really important, but if you're into that, then you can check that out. This is a life vest from someone on the Titanic. This can be directly linked back to somebody, but don't remember who it was. It was left in the office, though. It wasn't worn by a survivor. I know that. These are the deck plans in the background. Very, very complicated. I can't imagine, like, putting all this together, like, as a planner, as, like, someone who's building the ship. This is stuff from their, restaurant. So it's, like, I think this was the first class restaurant. And then these are examples of stuff from the children. So they have little antique toys, their little antique clothes and stuff. If it wasn't in such a sad place, this would be, like, really cool, but obviously it just kind of makes you think about the children that were on there. But it is cool in general to see what clothes look like back from that time period, toys and stuff. This is a photo of Captain Smith on the Titanic. This is the only picture that they have of him, and I believe he's standing right here. I believe this one's him. This is a photo album from someone who was on the Titanic. These are toys from, I believe they are survivors. I believe these girls are survivors of the Titanic, and I believe these are their toys. So you got a little cat stuffed animal and a little toy boat. Yeah, because they ended up being orphans, so I think their parents died, but they survived, I believe. This is the Master Key, first class Master Key. And then, I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a recovered penknife from the Titanic. This is a passenger trunk that was found floating in the ocean after the shipwreck. Hello, Ken. I'm doing good today. Thank you for asking. This is a purse. So, yeah, it was on a recovery. It was pulled from the Titanic's debris, so this was also on the Titanic. Some of the things like belonged to passengers who got off and survived, but some of the things are also recovered. So yeah, this is one of the recovered things. Then these are little shoes. This was a kid who survived. The whole family survived actually, but the baby, this is what he was wearing. These are the shoes he was wearing on the Titanic. But he did make it off. They found the shoes like afterwards. Someone donated them. This is built out of Lego. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it if I zoom in at all. I don't know if you'll be able to see the bricks. No, you can't really see it, but you can see the little tiny people and stuff. This is all Lego brick. It is the biggest like Lego, what do you call it? Replica? Not a replica. Model, I guess. This is the biggest Lego model that has ever been built of the Titanic. It's really big. It like spanned this whole room. It was like a whole room just for it. And they also had like a little sequence and stuff that was interesting, like with lights and stuff that go on it, but obviously that's not in the picture. And then at the very end, they have a replicated staircase, so you can get your picture like coming down the staircase of the Titanic. I think that's it for Titanic, yes. So let me go ahead and take off this warning. There we go. Okay, and then we can go on to talk about what's next. The escape room. So we don't have pictures of the escape room. I'll try and bring up. I don't remember. Smoky escape rooms? Smoky Mountain escape games. That's what it's called. Okay, this is where we went. And we did this one. Try to show you a little bit. I don't know if they have, yeah, they don't have any pictures of the game or anything. But you're not allowed to take pictures of the games. Like, you're not gonna want to. You know, you don't want to spoil it for people. So I also won't say much about this because I don't want anyone like getting any clues or anything. If they do decide to go here. But very good escape games. I've gone to quite a few. We've been to quite a few, I should say. Different ones. And this is one of the better ones for sure. This one is, the one that we did is called The Haunting. And so you're going into this manor to figure out what really happened with this girl who was like kidnapped and she disappeared and like was never found. So you're going into this old like haunted mansion and trying to find out the secrets, and it's really good setup. It's extremely interactive. Definitely feels like you're actually there. They have a multitude of different rooms that you go into, so it's not just like one room. Some escape rooms just have like one area that you're in, but no, this one had, I think, 3 different ones. And then there was also like a lot of jump scares and stuff like that. So a lot of times escape rooms are mostly just like atmospheric, but they have like the puzzles and stuff, but this one was like actually scary, you know. It was really cool. I loved it. He was the one that was doing all the stuff there. I think Bun was also out a little bit during that one. He was trying not to be out as much because he knew he always gets to have, like, most of the time and stuff, but I think he couldn't help himself on that one. So we did that escape room, and then we also ate. This is the night that we ate at Five Guys. And so they got what was it? They got chicken tortellini. Chicken Alfredo tortellini. So normally it comes with broccoli. Did not order asked for it without broccoli. I don't think any of us like cooked broccoli, actually. There's some of us who like normal broccoli, but I don't think any of us like cooked broccoli. Again, we have sensory issues and stuff like that, so no cooked broccoli for us, but did have the chicken tortellini. It was so good. So good. It genuinely, like, ugh, probably the best food that we've had in a while. I can remember it. I wasn't even the one that ate it, and I can remember it. And yeah, that was, after that, we just went back home. I keep saying back home as if, like, the cabin is home. We're not home yet, guys. This is a whole week trip. This is only day 5. We got 2 more days to go through. So, I think this is the day that Bun streamed too, but I'm not positive. I'm not sure. Because I don't think they were out that long. It was either that day or the day that, like, Gabe did Beyond the Lens and stuff. So, I'm not positive, but Bun did stream at some point if you want to go back and watch that. It's a little plug in there. It is on laptop quality though, so it didn't go as great. So the next day, we went to this place called Wonderworks, and I'm definitely gonna have to pull up pictures from here, because this is the only one that we have, and this place, like, this does not give it credit at all. So this is, like, an astronaut suit that you can get up into and, like, pose in, and you can see, like, what the inside of an astronaut suit looks like, essentially. But there is a lot more to do here, and this was one of our busiest days by far. This was, the busiest place as well. So, for most of it, it was Charla and Gizzy. So this is a place that's geared more towards kids. You know, it's not, I mean, families can definitely go here and everything. Older people could probably still enjoy it, but not as much as a kid would. So, the littles came out for this one. Let me go ahead and open up the thing. Oh, you can see my home thing, but I guess it doesn't matter. Am I looking up Wonderworks? Oh my god. Please! There we go. Okay, here's the zones. This will help me remember stuff. So first they have the extreme weather zone, and when we got in here, they asked us if we wanted a booklet. And the booklet, they were like, if you turn in the booklet, if you, like, answer the questions in it, you'll get a prize. Do not get the booklet. It's not worth it. I mean, if you want it, you can, but it's $10 for a little booklet. And then they're like, you can get a prize from the gift shop if you finish it. So Charlotte was real excited about that. She was like, oh my gosh, I can get a free prize. And then when we turned it in at the end, it was a wristband. It was just a rubber wristband. So she was a little disappointed. But I guess she did have fun, like, going through everything, so who cares? She definitely took the lead in this one, and Gizzy was kind of in the background here. I think I can click on, yeah, I can click on the stuff and actually show you everything that was there. That's cool. So there is the Tesla coil, and this plays, the Mario Shack with electricity. You have to do it with your hands, though. And then they have an earthquake cafe, which shows you, like, the power behind a 5.3 hurricane on the Richter scale. Or, not hurricane, earthquake. And they have a hurricane shack, which is just, like, the winds. And then they have a thing where you can, it's another thing, just like at the Titanic, where you put your hand into freezing cold water. But this isn't salt water either. This is just, like, normal water. And you're supposed to be able to put your hand in and have it count for you, but the timer wasn't working on this one this time, sadly. Then we had the physical challenge zone. So there was a bed of nails. It was covered up this time though, so you couldn't lay on it. They had a bubble lab, and Gizzy was super excited about this, but he couldn't get any bubbles to stick. I know he made some little ones, but he couldn't get any of the big ones. There was also one that was like supposed to, like, you could stand inside of a hula hoop and it was supposed to make a big bubble, but he couldn't do that one either. He tried though. And then there was like a pulley thing where you pull yourself, you like sit down and you pull yourself up on it. There's the light and sound zone, which this place had multiple little areas. So there was one area where it took like your shadow and put it on the wall, and there was another one where as you would walk it would like show colors and stuff. Oh no, this is strike a pose. Okay, well, they were together, so I counted them as the same. I also did not see a giant piano. Did not see that anywhere. They also had like a little, I remember you could like look through a little shark thing and see like what it looks like to be a shark. That was in this area, I think. And we have the Space Discovery Zone. So this astronaut training challenge is a gyroscope. It's actually a 4-person gyroscope. I don't know why it says 2-person. It's 4-person. And we just went with like strangers because nobody in our group wanted to do it. This is kind of where Xavier started to take over, I think. Because he definitely did this one. And then there's like a capsule that you can go into it's a replica of like a capsule that was launched into space. And then they have some VR stuff too. We didn't do that because we didn't want to get sick. And then they have this Wonder Art Gallery, so it has an illusion, a bunch of illusions and stuff up there. Xavier was there for that too, I think. But I know like they were like all kind of like Cohen mixed up throughout this. And then they also had Dr. Seuss taxidermy, so like they had like sculptures of different characters from the Dr. Seuss books. And then they had this imagination lab, which had like stuff for little kids in it. And they're not showing their thing. Their ropes course. This is the most exciting thing that was there. Okay, so this shows it. This is a 4-story ropes course. So you start at the 10-story mark, and then you can go up 3 stories. So you're 40 feet in the air on this one. And it's very high. Like, it doesn't look high like looking down from it. Like, if you're on the ground and you're looking up, it doesn't look as high as it feels when you're actually up there. So Xavier challenged himself. He went all the way up to the top. And then at the top, they wanted him to go across, like, tight ropes. So see how there's, like, different things that you can choose. So there's this, like, rickety bridge. Little, steps on different areas. There was other ones too, obviously. This picture doesn't show everything. But, at the very top, they have, like, the most challenging ones. And so they have, like, a tightrope walk and stuff like that. And Xavier was like, I challenged myself enough by getting up here. I'm not going across a tightrope 40 feet in the air. So. Oh, 50 feet. Huh. Okay, so it's higher than that. But yeah, he did go all the way to the top on that one. When he was talking about it and stuff, he was talking about his legs were like shaking the whole time. So that was really cool. But yeah, this is the only picture that I have that was sent to me of it, so sorry I didn't get better pictures. I mean, I have better pictures, but sorry I couldn't show them, I guess. And then after that, we went to this place called Skyland Ranch, and we also ate here. So for eating, they had a bunch of different food trucks, and then they had an indoor restaurant that had like country style foods and stuff. This was Mars. Mars was the one that was out for this one. Or no, Mars wasn't out. Mars wanted to, Mars was originally planning on being the one out. But then Addie was the one out because Addie saw goats and immediately ran for the goats. So the Skyline Ranch place has a bunch of animals and like a big outlook and stuff there. They have a mountain coaster, which I'll be able to show you pictures of, and I think that's pretty much it. It's just like a cozy thing. They also have this huge chairlift. I'll show you the chairlift for sure. Let me see. See if I can find a good picture of the, oh my gosh, play maybe? Okay, this does not give it justice. This thing is so high. So this is at the bottom, so they're not that high up. But if you go further, like as you're going up, it gets steeper and steeper and steeper. And there's two areas that have these big, like, you call it a, I don't know if you would call it a gorge or a valley. It's really, they're small, but, they stretch out, like, all the way under. And so you're real high up there, and all you have is this little, like, lap bar on you. So it was very, very scary going up on that thing. And we also went down on that thing. But, Addie was horrified the first time. So was, our mom. Our mom was really scared on it too. But, yeah, Addie braved the chairlift, and then we went and ate, and Addie just got pizza, because Addie's very picky with her food. And then they went to see the rest of the animals. There were baby goats there. There were normal goats. There was a sheep. There was a Highland cow, I believe. I think that's what it was. And there were some baby Highland cows. There were miniature horses. So I will show you a couple pictures of them. Again, I don't have all of them. So this is one of the bigger goats. And then this is the baby goat that Addie was obsessed with. This is the one that Addie went to first. Addie was like, oh my god, it's a baby goat. You can't see, but he had these really pretty, like, light blue eyes that, like, were really stark against his fur. And then there was this baby goat too. She was 3 months and this one was 4 months. They were really babies. They were little. It was so nice. Obviously they went in and they got to pet them and everything. This is a view from the little lookout area that I told you about. It's not that high up, like, from the ground because it's on a hill, but this is, like, overlooking the town. You can see the mountains back here, and there's a cool optical illusion going on in this background. Let's see. Okay, so if you look here, this mountain looks like a little bit like one mountain, you know? And so it looks like there's, like, a transparent mountain in front of things. You're like, what is that? That's weird. But in actuality, it's 3 mountains. So this is one, the darker mountain, and then they have the greener mountain here, and then in the back there's another one. But it looked very trippy because they line up so perfectly. It looked very transparent and strange. Okay. And then I think that's okay. No, this is the mountain coaster thing, and these are all over Tennessee area, the area in Tennessee that we were at. So this one is called the Wild Stallion, and it's the longest one in the area. So what these do is, this is just like a little cart, and it's on 2 rails. It doesn't have anything in between. It does have some parts where it's like a chain lift thing, where it just takes you up the hills, but everything else is gravity based, so it uses the actual mountain that you're on to move you down. And you do have a little brake system, but Addie tried not to use it as much as they could. I know there was one point where they were, like, getting too close to other people, so they did have to use it. But if you go on it, you want to challenge yourself and not put the brakes in at all. It's very exhilarating. You only have, like, a little, like, seatbelt over you and stuff. It's really fun. There's a lot of different ones too. It's not just at this place, but this is the one that we did this year. Then we have Rowdy Bear Ranch, or Rowdy Bear Snow Park, and this is where Mars came out. So, first, we don't have pictures of this, but they have a little coaster too. It's not, I don't know that it's considered a mountain coaster, but it does have, like, the same kind of dynamic. The actual car isn't at all the same. It's, like, less open and stuff, but it does still have, like, the rail system and stuff. It is a much smaller one, so it's better suited for, like, families and stuff. Still very fun. Like, I'm not knocking it, but it's better suited for families than, like, the ones that are, like, meant to be super thrilling, you know? And then they also had this little chairlift ride thing, where you would go on a chairlift that was, like, it wasn't exactly, like, the same as a chairlift. You know how a chairlift is just, like, on wires? Well, this one was on, like, a big metal track in the air. And so you get these little guns, and you get to shoot at targets as you're going through, and then you get to see, like, who won, because there's, like, 2 spots on the chairlift. So you just see who got the most targets, who got the most points. And it goes from side to side, too, so it, like, sways and stuff like that. So it's not just, like, a chairlift thing. It's, like, a ride. Then they had, tubing. And so this is summer tubing. During the winter, they have snow tubing with actual snow and stuff. But during the summer and during the spring and, like, times where there's not snow, they have this outdoor tubing stuff. So these are the things that they use for the snow tubing. They would normally, like, fill this up with snow. And these are the ones for, just regular tubing. So what they do to make this work is they mist this. They mist this whole thing, and it's, like, you do get a little wet on it. But you go down on an inner tube, you can see an inner tube right there, and you get a lot of speed. You get more speed than you think you do. So, like, normal sled riding, you know, you don't, like, go that fast, but this tubing is, like, 35 miles an hour, so you're going really fast down these hills. Mars really loved this one. And then we also did axe throwing down here. So they had these little stalls here, and you would pick up your axe from there, and then they had targets on the wall that you can't see, where you would throw your axe. And at first Mars was out for this, and then Mars got frustrated, and so Blaz came out, and Blaz was, like, so determined to get it, but we didn't end up getting it. We definitely, like, got hits on it. Like, the blade definitely hit the target a couple times, but it didn't stick how it's supposed to stick. Unfortunately. And so then, after that, I think it's just the day that we went home. Yeah, we went ahead and we had, Golden Corral before we left. And JD was really happy about that. The Golden Corral that they have is so good. I know there's different qualities of Golden Corrals, because we've been to multiple of them, but this Golden Corral is a great one. They have, like, anything you could possibly think of, really. They have seafood, they have Asian food, they have pizzas, they have salad, huge salad bar, with, like, different fruits and stuff in it, too. They have, like, home-cooked stuff, they have fried chicken, steaks, pretty much anything that you could want at a buffet place, they have it. So, definitely recommend that if you end up going there. And JB was enjoying that a lot, too. Oh, that was also the day that we went. Hold on. Golden Corral was not on our last day, now that I'm thinking about it. I had it listed as our last day, but it's not. We had Golden Corral after the escape room, because after the escape room, we went to this little store for, I don't even remember what the show was called. It was like a store / little museum place for this, like, old Southern show. Our dad wanted to see it. And Rye walked in and there were Confederate flags, and Rye noped out of there, mentally. And then, JB came out and was like, I can look at this from a historical point of view. I can look at this and say, wow, I can't believe we were like this. So that's what JB did. And that's why JB was out for the Golden Corral, yeah. So that's it. After that, we went back home on our 7th day, and we stayed in the back that time. The way up, we had gotten, like, not very much sleep and stuff, so we needed to sleep on the way up, so we slept in the passenger seat while, other people were, like, in other seats. But this time, on our way back, we sat in the back seat with our dog, because he gets really nervous, in car rides. He did so good, though, with this. On the way back, he did a lot better than on the way up. But, we were, like, up and awake and everything, so Bun just stayed up with him. And played Animal Crossing and stuff like that. And that was the extent of our vacation. I'm really glad that we got to show you guys some pictures, even though we couldn't get all of them for the stream. I'm glad that I figured out how to edit people out and stuff too. Because obviously we wouldn't have nearly as many pictures without being able to edit ourselves out of stuff, so that was really nice. This stream has been like two hours or so I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, but thank you so much for being here and listening and giving us a welcome back, and we will be streaming tomorrow again. Goodbye.